Hey everyone, it's the surprise midweek session again. So, over the past few days, a couple of changes has happened, and some prices has broke out from their own resistance, and some has been rejected. So let's see which one of those have been rejected and which one has broken through, and what are we going to expect in the near future. Before getting into the details, as usual, I'll show you the disclaimer. These sessions are not financial advice. And if you're new to these sessions, the midweek sessions are pop-up sessions. And if you're interested in more detailed analysis, please refer to individual assets weekly session. So let's begin. Let's start with Hedera. Hedera, over the past few days, it has reached the top end of the downward playground zone, and right now it's still hovering around the edge of it. I don't consider these actual breakout, so be careful that it will come back to within the box and probably test the lower boundary. So that's for Hedera, and then for Sweetcoin is basically still within the downward playground zone, the blue box. And one thing in particular is it has broken out above the yellow resistance line that's been extended from the prices or the peaks in October and November last year, respectively, before the huge climb to the buying climax. So right now, in just one day, it has returned to below the resistance line, the yellow line. So in the next few days, it will be interesting to see whether the price will go sideways, and once it hits the resistance line, the top edge of the blue zone, whether it will come down to test this white line that's the top edge of the long-term playground zone. So it'll be critical in the next few days whether the price of Sweetcoin will return to the long-term area. And then for Stellar, in the past few days, it seems like it has clearly broken out from the blue zone, the downward zone. And well, usually these cases, if it continue to climb, it may test the low boundary of the pink box, the pink short-term playground zone that most of, well, actually starting from end November last year all the way till early February, most of the time it has been within that zone, but it's probably not as easy to break above that bottom resistance line, because it basically has tried at least 3 times since mid February till now. So it'll be interesting to see whether it can stay above this white line over here, the top edge of the long-term playground zone, because in the past few days, basically it has been struggling over that area, and just yesterday it has some kind of upward movement with a longer volume bar, but whether that can sustain, we have to observe. So that's for Stellar. And then AVAX, Avalanche, still within the downward trend, the downward playground zone. If you have looked at or listened to the weekly sessions, basically still within the lower half of the long-term playground zone. And probably if it has to start an accumulation, it will take a while within these price trading range, if that you're used to that term. And in terms of Chainlink, yesterday it has like a thick breakout for both areas. One is the top edge of the downward trending zone. The other is this yellow line that's the resistance line extended all the way from since 2023. Right now it's reaching the top edge of the downward trending zone, downward playground zone another time. So tomorrow we'll be able to see whether it can break out and retest the yellow line again. If it doesn't break out, it would probably well, there are two scenarios, I would say. One is it edge along the top resistance line of the playground zone, or it can come down and test the yellow line as well as the bottom of the blue box. So those are the two possible scenarios. As for Tron, Tron obviously is still within the blue box, as we can see, and basically on Sunday it has broken outside of the pink box and tested the lower edge of the blue box. Right now it has returned to the pink box, but it hasn't tested the top edge, or it failed to test it 2 days ago on Tuesday. Right now it seems like it's trying to stay above this imaginary, let's put it this way, we see these values, right? So if I extend these to here, it's trying to stay above these like weaker support area. The stronger support is the pink. So let's see whether it will test the top of the blue, or is it going to come down and retest the support of the pink again. If it does, it will test the bottom edge of the blue box. That's downward trending zone that's pretty much, I would say, quite solid as of this moment in time. So let's see whether that would happen in the next few days. As for Cardano, it clearly has broken outside of this downward trending box. Right now it's moving a little bit sideways, and it seems to have a flat bottom over here. So there may be a chance that it will go up and retest the bottom edge of the pink box, the short-term playground zone. And in terms of volume, it has risen a little compared to the previous 5 days, if we take the last 2 days. But today it's well, it's still early for today, so there's still time for people to trade. And well, I can actually shrink this box now, given it has broken out or broken through, and we'll see whether it will trend up shortly and then redevelop a downward trending zone. And for Dogecoin on the 19th, it hits the top edge of the downward trending zone and immediately retreated, and now today it's hitting it a second time again. So we'll see whether it can break out and then form another like upward movement to test the resistance line set by the long-term playground zone, this white line over here. If not, it will probably go along the blue line or drop even deeper to test the bottom edge of the blue line. As for Binance, it has broken out when we did the weekly session already. Right now, the thing is, it has also stayed above the center line of the pink box, the short-term playground zone. So let's see whether or for how long it can stay above that, and would it even retest the top edge of the pink box. Something similar happened in November last year. So it broke above the center line of the pink box, but then it stayed successfully and then did the basically the upthrust after distribution. So this time, if there really is such market demand, that may be the case. If not, then it probably would be another LPSY, the last point of supply. So I'll put put it here tentatively, and we'll come back to these during the weekend sessions or the weekly sessions. And then for Solana, it has broken outside of these blue box already when we did the weekly session. However, I also mentioned in the weekly session that we'll observe whether it can stay above this support line, the pink line. That's the short-term playground zone. So far in the past few days, it seems like it's got some relatively good support. We see it tested on Sunday and then it retested on Tuesday again. Yesterday it ended up higher, I should say, and then we'll have to see for how long it's going to stay above this line. If it successfully defended, then maybe some kind of similar actions that we have seen July and September last year. Hopefully it can replay what's been tested. If not, then it may probably form a new downward trend and test this yellow support line developed over here. That's if I remember correctly, that's the PSY. Yeah. So that's for Solana. And then for Ripple, I've drawn this imaginary blue box. That's a pale blue, if you notice. Basically, I was saying in the last session that Ripple has been trading within this pink box since December last year, and so far it still is. And what happened yesterday or one day or two ago is that it broke above the center line of this pink box. So most of the time during the period between February and early March, it has been trading above the center line, but like 40% of the time maybe it has been trading below, especially since early March. For 2 weeks it has been trading below the center line. So right now it's the first time since it's fallen through the center line, it returns to it. Whether it can stay above and retest the top edge, it really depends on whether it will break outside of this blue box again. So because of yesterday's action, I'm keeping this a pale blue. It's not I wouldn't consider this a confirmed downward trend, but it looks like it is forming. So if the next few days it can't break through the top edge of the blue box and also fallen below the center line of the pink box and return to this area over here, then this blue box probably has to turn deep blue. That means it's pretty much confirmed. One thing that happens that would confirm it even further is the price fall through the support line of the pink box and test the bottom edge of the blue box, and this downward trend or downward playground zone is pretty much confirmed, or more solidly confirmed in that case. And for Ethereum, it has broken above the center line of the downward trending zone, and so far it hasn't been successful to break above the long-term playground zone resistance line. So it has returned to the top half of the downward trend. However, it's still below the white or within the white box. So it's the first time starting March 9th that it has returned to this zone since November last year. So far it's still within this zone. If it continues, it probably will test the support set by this accumulation zone over here. That's about 1500 in terms of the price level. And finally, Bitcoin yesterday tested the top edge of the blue box, the downward playground zone, and retreated from there yesterday. So far, it's still hovering around that area and seemingly trying to retest the top edge of the blue box again. Whether it will continue testing and then follow along the line before it reaches the support, the yellow line, we'll have to see how it develops over the next few days. If not, it may do a more drastic drop and test the yellow line and see whether that's going to be successfully defended, because this area over here isn't a really strong support. The strongest support would be the pink top edge of the lower pink box. We see a couple of peaks over here that provides relatively stronger support than this one that forms the yellow line. So let's see what will happen in the next few days. Thanks for watching. See you in the week.